I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like doing this. And I know there are a lot of people who don't feel like watching this because whenever the Eagles lose big, I don't get views. But for the people who are sticking around and for the people that I am talking to, let's talk about this game. 37-10. Ew. Ew. Oh, I didn't think it was going to get worse than last week. So another slow start. This game was over after 5 plays. Dallas Goedert fumbled. It was over. You want to know why it was over? Because all week we talked about it. We talked about the slow starts. It's been happening all season long. It's been happening since the start of last year. So Doug Peterson did something that he normally doesn't do, and that's take the opening kickoff. 4 plays into the drive. It looks like the Eagles have a pretty promising drive going on. Dallas Goedert picks up 8 yards on a second down to set up a third and manageable. Then he fumbles, and the game was over. The game was over. So demoralizing to fumble that ball 5 plays in after all the pregame talk. And when you get off to slow starts, again, it was 14-0 in a blink. You got to derive from your game plan. So all this preparation that you're doing, all this film study, everything that you're putting into your game plan, you have to throw it out each and every week because you keep getting off to these slow starts. I mean, Doug Peterson, he did try to stick with the run, and the run was working. But when you're down 14-0, when you're down 21-7, when you're down 27-7, you can't keep running the football. 4.1 yards per carry the Eagles average yesterday. Jordan Howard, I thought was going to get 20 to 25 carries. He had 11 for 50. 5 of the carries came on the Eagles' third possession of the game when they finally didn't turn the ball over and scored a touchdown. So this was ugly. All right. Let's get to the notebook. Let's get to this shindig. I'm just going to show you guys real quick. It was a lot to the little. I'm only showing the first half. I couldn't watch more in the first half. So 37-10, 66-30 at halftime. Dallas. This game was a complete dud. Doesn't even get a rating. It was bad. It was atrocious. Let's get to the notebook and the highlights. For the first time since week 13 of 2016, before the Eagles won the Super Bowl, this was the first time that the Eagles took the opening kickoff and didn't defer to the second half. And here's what they did on that opening drive. So you had a quick out to Nelson Aguilar in the first play. You picked up 6 yards. Jordan Howard turns out 3 on a run. You get a quarterback sneak for a first down. Jeffrey Awuzie, feet get tangled, flag gets picked up. Next play, you have this play, a 2nd and 10, and here's what you got. So this is the play to Dallas Goedert, spots up in the middle of the field, tries to gain that extra yardage. He puts the ball on the ground, and just like that, Dallas has the ball inside the 50-yard line. So turnovers, mistakes, they've been killing the Eagles all season long in the first half, and they do it 5 plays into the game. And Dallas, during their losing streak, didn't score a touchdown in the first half. Not one. Well, it didn't take long to get in the end zone for them in this one. So 3rd and 2, this is the option pitch to Tavon Austin. This is a great play design here. So we're seeing a lot more of this with coordinators where you'll see the motion into the backfield and then back out. But on this play, instead of throwing a swing pass, they do an option pitch. And Tavon Austin, this is easy pickings for him. So Rodney McLeod kind of got fooled on this. He had to pick and choose who he wanted to go after. And Tavon Austin makes the move on Orlando Scandrick. I mean, that was no chance for Scandrick here. As you can see, he has to move all this way laterally to make a tackle on Tavon Austin, the quick and elusive. Tavon Austin, not going to happen. So this was a touchdown. Less than 5 minutes into the game, it's 7-0. 2 plays later, it's DeMarcus Lawrence getting around Lane Johnson. So there you go. Just like that. Your first 2 possessions, you turn the ball over twice. 7 plays, you got 2 turnovers. Unbelievable. So DeMarcus Lawrence had never had a sack in his career against the Eagles. And you can see here, this is an inside-out move. He starts inside, he gets outside, and he gets a strip sack. So Dallas gets possession at the 14-yard line. They find pay dirt 2 plays later. This is Zeke Elliott on first down. He's going to churn this out to the 1-yard line. Initially ruled a touchdown, but they did bring it back. You're going to see Connor Williams here on a combo block. Check out Connor Williams there, the left guard. Gets 2 blocks. Zeke Elliott almost to the end zone, but he gets in on this play. 14-0. Dallas. Not even the midway point of the first quarter. They're already up 14-0. So this was the only good drive basically the Eagles had all game. Jordan Howard had 11 rushing attempts. 5 came on this drive. And the Eagles were able to churn out some yards on the ground. This is the recipe to beat Dallas. You turn the ball, or you run the ball up the middle. We saw the Rams do this in the playoff game, and we saw the Packers do this a couple weeks ago. But when you're down 14-0, it's hard to play this style because you got to play catch-up. So we're going to see here Brandon Brooks just completely washes his defender down the line. It looks like that's what I got written down here. That's what he's going to do. Yes, he does. And that's a big hole for Jordan Howard. And you're going to see a difference here because we're going to see Miles Sanders come in later for a couple carries. I'm going to show you the difference between him and Jordan Howard right now. So when Jordan Howard gets the ball, I mean, obviously this is a big hole, but look at the decisiveness. He's running full steam ahead. There's no lack of decision there. And he's going through the hole. But that's a big hole. But I'm going to talk to you later about that. So here we go. Another run for Jordan Howard. That's Dallas Goedert. Big block, 8 yards up the middle. 2nd and 3. And I believe they feed Howard again. There you go. So outside here, you have Kelsey on the second level. You have Blaine Johnson on the second level. Able to churn out more positive yardage on the ground. So you have a 2nd and 12 now. And this is the touchdown to Dallas Goedert. So he had the drop or the fumble, and then he gets the TD here. Eagles on the board. So this route right here, this is the deep over route. You see Goddard, he starts on the right side. He comes back to the left. Leighton Vander Esch, he's pretty good in coverage as a linebacker, but not able to get Goddard there. 14-7, Eagles. And, you know, this is a chance here for them to get off the field. And this was a big problem yesterday, was 3rd downs. Dallas was 7 of 12. And look at this. This is a 3rd and 8. This is a favorable down and distance for the Eagles defense, but they have nothing here. I mean, this isn't even close to being a conversion, a stop. So here's been the recipe for disaster for the Eagles this season. 3rd and 8. They don't have the defensive line play this year that they were getting in years past. So a 3rd and 8 where in the past where, you know, you would get to the quarterback so quick that he would either have to throw the ball away or, you know, take a sack. Now, as you can see, there's no pressure whatsoever on the quarterback. And this secondary, which has always been a problem here in Philly, even during the Super Bowl season, it's getting exposed because the D-line is not getting home. Look at this pocket. Look at this. All day. All day. This is a huge 3rd and 8 to get your offense back on the field after it scored a touchdown. You can make it 14-14, but no. Dak all day to throw. Randall Cobb on Andrew Sendejo. They moved the sticks. It's demoralizing. Now, what the Eagles did do was get some pass rush. Later on in the drive, Derek Barnett gets a sack. So we're going to see here that he bends the edge on Tyron Smith. This is what he does best. As you can see, look at the shoulder dip. So the shoulder dip, and then look at the rip through with the left arm on Tyron Smith. Battling that high ankle sprain. I'm going to guess that he wasn't 100% in this one. And Barnett able to get a sack there. So there's a sack for Barnett. Then a 3rd and 13. We get some pressure from Josh Sweat. Where has this been all season long? No pressure from the D-line, basically, all season. But we get them on back-to-back snaps. And it took Dallas out of field goal range. Now, oh, man, I forgot to show the replay on this. But maybe I can show you. All right, so this is a 3rd and 4. This is Miles Sanders. This is the difference between Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard right now. Now, obviously, Sanders, he's doing a tremendous job catching the ball out of the backfield, lining out wide, doing all that. But in terms of running the football, Look at the lack of decisiveness here, and I'm going to show you the hole that's opened up. I'm going to show you the hole here. Here's the hole. Here it is. He has a hole here to get a first down. Look at him pick, 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 and pick, and pick. Doesn't get the first down. Put your foot in the ground and go. And he didn't do that, as you can see. So we're going to show it one more time. Jordan Howard, when he gets that head of steam moving forward, and he goes. Now, I know Le'Veon Bell, maybe someone would say, hey, Le'Veon Bell, he kind of tip-taps and goes, but he waits for his blockers to develop. Here, there is a hole, and he's just doesn't see it. Either doesn't see it or he's just not. There's just an indecisiveness right now. There's the word. An indecisiveness out of Booby Sanders when it comes to running the football right now for the Birds. Here we're going to see Zach Martin and Connor Williams pull. Zach Martin just completely wipes out Jalen Mills on this play. Look at this. Look at Martin get out in front and just, woo, boy. Oh, man. He threw him aside. Oh, God. 4th and 1. And this was, this is a big conversion. Now, I bet you that if Dallas was playing any other team, they probably wouldn't go for this. 4th and 1 against the Birds. Doug Peterson guarantees a win. Playing a little bit, giving Doug his own medicine here, 4th and 1. And they're going for it. Bootleg. Zeke is wide open. And an easy conversion for the Cowboys. All right. This is Tony Pollard. These are 2 missed tackles for the Eagles. And, a couple times where we've seen this year, BG gets in the backfield. But unfortunately, on this night, BG missed a couple tackles where he was unable to get the tackle for loss. Obviously, this is a tough play. But BG does such a great job of timing the snap and getting in the backfield, going backside here, but unable to make the tackle. And then Pollard able to keep his balance after Jalen Mills' shoestring tackle attempt. So there's 1 miss. There's 2. Keeps his balance, makes an inside cut on Fletcher Cox, and he gets a first down. That's an unbelievable run by Tony Pollard there. 3rd and 4. It's Dak to Witten. And this is a play where they could have gotten off the field here, but Jalen Mills slipped. Now, it showed it on the replay, but here we go. So he kind of slips there, as you can see, and it halts his momentum as he tried to pull the trigger and drive forward on that ball. A little glove technique, unable to get there in time, and Jason Witten picks up the first down. 2nd and 9. This is the quick slant to Randall Cobb, working on Orlando Scandrick. So you can see cover 0. There's nobody here. Back here, there's a wide open terrain for Cobb working on Scandrick. 15 yards, gets to the 1-yard line. And we have another touchdown. This is the other problem. So the 2 big problems right now, slow starts and red zone defense. So the Eagles were ranked 1st in red zone defense last year. And heading into this game, I believe they were 20th. So Dallas, 3 touchdowns on their first 3 red zone possessions. I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but I'm sure the stat isn't good right now for Philadelphia's red zone defense. This is what this is what they pride themselves on. This is what the Jim Schwartz scheme is all about. The 10 yards off. The reason why you play 10 yards off is because you don't want to allow the big play. So if you don't want to allow the big play, you don't want to allow the touchdown play, right? In between the 20s, Jim Schwartz will allow his yards. But as long as the opposing team settles for 3 and doesn't score the touchdown, it's a win at the end of the day. Well, unfortunately this year, touchdowns are coming and field goals are not. 21-7, 3rd and 7. This is a blitz off the edge. Carson Wentz doesn't pick it up. Doesn't see Jordan Lewis coming off the edge. And we got a sack. So, when you're trailing, when you're down 21-7, now obviously there's only 3:34, so you kind of have to throw the ball. But it makes it tough. It makes the play calling more predictable. Now, The play calling was actually even last night. I believe it was 28 runs, 26 passes for Wentz. But at halftime, I think it was 13-5, 13 runs, 5 passes. So they still tried to run the ball, but Dallas just got up so far in front. And, they weren't able to keep running the ball because they were down 27-7 at halftime. 3rd and 10. This was another one. It just, you have these instances where the Eagles are able to play the chains. They're able to get ahead of the chains. It's a 3rd and 10. 2017, this is not a first down. Now, obviously, this was a flag. So this was more, just an unfortunate penalty that occurred. But a 3rd and 10, it looks like you finally kind of make a stop. You actually, I believe they actually got pressure on this play. Yeah, they did. So Josh Sweat, kind of takes an inside move here. And he gets pressure on Dak. But there's a penalty. An illegal hands to the face, I believe it was. And it's a first down for Dallas. So you had a chance. So this is why this was important. It was 3rd and 10. You had a chance to get the ball back with 2 minutes left for the offense. Dallas was getting the possession to start the second half. So you have a potential to make it 21-14 or 21-10 before the break. Instead, you keep the drive alive. And Dallas has a first down with 2:05 left. So here we are. And a play later, it's the slant and go. A lovely route by Amari Cooper. Double moves, bite the birds again. And Cooper is in Eagles territory. 1st and 10 from the 30. And here's Brandon Graham. You can see again, he's in the backfield, but unable to make the tackle. Zeke Elliott gets inside of him, and this is a 16-yard gain for Dallas. 3rd and 8. Yay, the Eagles finally get off the field. But they still get 3 points. Brett Maher, 26-yard attempt, splits the sticks, 24-7. Dallas. So even now, I'm thinking, all right, well, at least they left a minute 31 on the clock. Maybe they can get a touchdown before the break. No, it didn't happen. So Andre Dillard, Jason Peters' replacement, and hopefully to be long-term replacement if he pans out, did not pan out on this particular drive. So his big weakness coming out of college, the bull rush. He's a little light in the lower half. Robert Quinn got him here. Back-to-back plays, he got him here. So this is a sack. This is a loss of 8. So you have a 1st and 10. You're trying to establish some momentum in the drive, and you have to take a sack because of the bull rush. Andre Dillard got manhandled. Easy for me to say. It's a loss of 8. And then we're going to see him get beat again, this time around the edge. Gets a piece of the arm. It's 3rd and 18, just like that. 12 seconds left on the clock. Dallas gets the ball back, and Jason Witten gets an easy pitch and catch here. So you're playing, a sticks defense, but this is way too loose here. Loosey-goosey. So Brett Maher gets a 63-yard field goal attempt. He's already got 2 62-yarders to his credit in his career. And now he's got a 63-yarder to add to the books. 27-7 at halftime. 27-7. Oh. All right. 3rd quarter. I was only going to show the first half, but I'm going to show 2 plays from the second half. The only positive thing that I saw in the game yesterday, this play. So Howard Eskin had a report today that Alshon Jeffrey was the rat, quote unquote the rat. If you guys have listened to me on this channel, I really didn't think that particular quote was that big of a deal. Frustrations in the heat of the moment can make you say something stupid and not make you think rationally. But here's what happened. Alshon Jeffrey, Carson Wentz, they talked some things out during the week. You know why? Because Carson Wentz put this ball where Alshon Jeffrey wanted him to play. 3rd and 17, Alshon Jeffrey, he wants this ball up high on the back shoulder balls. Now, this isn't a back shoulder ball. This is a slant pattern, or this is a post pattern. And Jeffrey wants the ball high so he can box out his defender, get outstretched. He's got strong arms, or strong hands, to come down with the catch. So this is actually what you're looking for here on this particular play. 3rd and 17, I mean, this is what you want. You want the ball high for Jeffrey to go up and get. But it looks like he mistimes his jump a little bit, and this ball sails high and instead of being caught. So, still, I guess a little bit of an adjustment period for Wentz and Jeffrey to try and figure out. But this was actually the only positive sign I saw, because I guarantee you they talked during the week about this, because this has been a problem for Wentz and Jeffrey since Jeffrey has come to Philly. This is Wentz's biggest weakness as a pass thrower is the back shoulder. Now, again, this isn't a back shoulder ball, but putting it up for Jeffrey to go up and get outstretched, because too many times I've seen him throw a flat ball where it's like to his shoulder pads instead of going up here. So Jeffrey has to basically, he can't even jump on the times that Wentz tries to throw him the football. But on this occasion, he was able to get outstretched, but he mistimed his jump, unfortunately. All right, the other play is this Nelson Aguilar play. All right, I wanted to show you this play as well, because we had an optical illusion on this play. I'm going to show you guys what I mean in a second. This ball was actually overthrown by Carson Wentz. No, there was no way that Nelson Aguilar was actually going to get to this pass. I'm going to show you why right now. I'm going to show you why right now. I'm going to see if I can show you why. I'm going to see if I can stop it in time. So there we go. This is a perfect illustration. All right, so a lot of people think that this pass was basically inches away from Aguilar, that he alligator armed it and was unable to make the catch. He should have dove for it, people said. Well, if you look at this view, if you look at it stopped right here, this ball is actually not close to, people thought it was like here, but it's actually all the way out here. And this is the particular replay that we see after this replay that people start to freak out on Twitter and are like, oh my God, he should have caught this ball. As you can see, it looks like the ball is inches away from him, but it's really not. Now, the other argument that's being made is that Nelson Aguilar should have done a better job at tracking this ball. So let's take a look at the replay again. All right, so we're not going to be able to see the all-22 here. You can't see everything here, so you can't really see him track the ball. Now, if you look, though, here, he is on a dead sprint. He's on a dead sprint. And here he goes. I mean, maybe he should go a little bit more this way, a little bit more laterally to try and track that ball a little bit better. But, this replay right here makes it look so bad for Nelson Aguilar. But if you actually watch the playback, the ball was overthrown. Yuck! Ew! We got through it, though. Ugh, a big-time dud in Big D. Man, I said last week, that was one of those games where you take the tape and throw it out. Well, this one was even worse. So this is going to be a call-out week, as Lane Johnson said. People are going to be held accountable. There are two ways that this can go. The team can quit on Doug Peterson, or they can continue to fight. I think they're going to fight. I think they're going to scratch. I think they're going to claw. Something like this, a blowout like this, where you have a call-out session during the week. This is what can bring a team closer together. I'll show you an example. I'll give you an example. 2008. Everybody thought the season was over after the Ravens game. We had two abysmal performances. One of the worst games I've seen of all time between the Bengals and Eagles. A tie, a 13-13 tie where Donovan McNabb didn't even know that there were ties. And then the next week they lose to the Ravens and they got blown out and waxed. You know what the Eagles did after that? They didn't lose a game for the rest of the regular season. Then they got all the way to the NFC Championship game. Deshaun Jackson knows all about that. And I'm sure he's going to be reminding the fellas all week. It looks dire. It looks bleak. But the Eagles, at the end of the day, are only one game back in the NFC East. We'll see what happens from here. Doug's got a lot to fix.